Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your English class. I hope all of you are doing well. Today, again, we will be reviewing the Golden Goose. The aim of our lesson today is to be able to identify key details and to understand why they are key details. So by the end of this class, you should be able to identify key details in any story. You should also be able to tell me why these details are known as key details. So let's start now. If we look at page number 2, this comes under the beginning. Now, I have already told you in our last class that every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning of the lesson, we will always find key details that tell us about the characters and setting of a lesson. Over here, we find that the Golden Goose, the old woman, and her 2 daughters are the characters of the story. They lived in an old mud house with creaking doors and windows. This becomes the setting of the story. If we go towards the middle of the story, we find the first key detail for the middle of the story. This becomes the main action. The Golden Goose tells the family that she would give them a golden feather every day. This is the main action of the story. Without the main action of the story would not go on. Our second point for the middle of the story is the feelings of the characters once the main action is completed. Over here, the feelings of the characters is that the woman and her daughters were happy. So we can see they were sad first because they were very poor, and once the Golden Goose gives them her feathers, they become happy. The third point for the middle of the story is how the characters change. A change in the behavior of the characters. I have already told you before that it could be in the positive way or it could be in the negative way. Over here, we see that it is in the negative way because the woman and her daughters, they become greedy and they decide to catch the goose and pluck out all its feathers. Now let's go to the end part of the story. In the end, we find that the feelings of the characters change. The woman becomes sad again because she realizes her folly of being too greedy. That is your first point, which comes under the feelings of the characters. And the second point is the goose decides to fly away. So after the middle, we find that the action of the main character also changes. The goose decides to fly away. So these are your key details in the lesson. Every lesson has key details. They are the most important points of a lesson. So today, for your homework, I would like you to do S2. I'll give you an example of how to do S2. This is just an example of how to do S2. You would find that you have a column written key details and you have a column written why is it a key detail. Now you will have 3 points: beginning, middle, and end. So in the beginning, the first point I already told you was the characters. So you would just write the Golden Goose, the old woman, and her 2 daughters. These become the characters of your story. So in why is it a key detail, you would just write character. The second one, village or mud house. So this becomes your setting. You would just write setting. So the middle and the end, I would like you to do by yourself. Today's homework would just be S2. That's all for today. We will meet up in the next class. Until then, stay safe. Bye bye.